So before we get on to the next part of our code, something I've been forgetting to tell you guys, which I'm going to make sure to tell you guys at the end of the rest of these videos, is remember to save your work. So here at the top right over here, click on the Save button, and if it's saved the right way, then it should look gray like the rest of this top. So you don't want to lose any work, because that's sad when you put so much work and time into making something cool and then forget to save it. So it's easy to forget. I'll keep reminding you, click the Save button. Anyway, so the next step is we need to remember, okay, when this game starts, now we follow this recipe, like a recipe essentially. You see when we click go, what happens is that all the objects move to where they're supposed to go according to this statement here. And then we create these two variables, choice and count, and we set them equal to 0. We clear the rest of the screen if there was anything else on it, and we have our turtle say, get ready for fractals for 5 seconds. So it follows it just like a cookbook. So the next step we want to think about is, okay, well, we know that the turtle is going to jump around between these three balls, and it's going to jump a certain amount of times according to count. So at the beginning, count is 0 because the turtle hasn't jumped at all yet, but the first step we could say is, well, let's keep track of count and make sure the turtle only jumps a certain amount of times. So to do that, we're going to come over here to our events button, and we're going to drag another one of these on start pieces out here. And now we're going to go to flow. So it's right next to events. Click on the flow button, and you see some new blocks here. So over here we have this, say get ready for fractals, which lasts for 5 seconds. So we don't want it to start doing this jumping or anything like that until this all finishes. So the first block we're going to drag over here is a wait block, and we're going to have it wait 6 seconds. So that means it's all done doing this stuff over here. But then after that, we're going to repeat while we're going to grab this piece which says repeat while and then something. And what this block does is that we can put code inside of this block that'll just keep going and going and going until something becomes true. The thing we want to become true is we wanted this to repeat until count gets to some number. So for instance, let's say I want count to go until 10 times. That means I want this turtle to keep jumping around until he's jumped 10 or her has jumped 10 times. So what I would do there to make that happen is I come over here to the operator tab, click this one. You see this piece here, I'm going to drag this piece out and put it right in here. So I want to keep repeating whatever happens in this loop as long as, and click on variables, count is less than some number. And let's make that number 10 for now. So this says repeat while count is less than 10. So this will just keep going and going and going and going as long as count is less than 10. And right now, since we start out with count being equal to 0, this would never stop because count isn't changing. However, if we come over here, there's another block in our variables tab called change something by 1. So up here, we're going to drag that piece of code inside our repeat block, and we want this to be true for count. So every time we go through this cycle, we want count to increase by 1. And we can show this by clicking on the box right next to our count variable. See that X now? And look over here, you see the current value of count is 0. Now we're going to click one more box just so we can see this happen a little slower. So we're going to drag this wait block in here too. So what's going to happen is after the program starts, this is going to wait 6 seconds, and then this is going to keep repeating as long as count is less than 10. However, count's going to increase by 1 every single time, and so watch what happens. We click go, so nothing happens at first because we're waiting. But then look at the value of count. 1, 2, 3, 4. It keeps going up because every single time it goes through this loop, it increases by 1 and then stops when it gets to 10.